The Department of Water Resources is developing a community benefits program for the Delta Conveyance project that recognizes the reality that the project impacts are local to the Delta, but the overall direct benefit are outside the Delta. You can find more information about the Community Benefits Program on DWR's website by clicking the sidebar link listed as Community Benefits Program. DWR has published an implementation plan and guidelines for the Community Benefits Program. It can be found here in English, Spanish, and Chinese. They seek your feedback on this document. The implementation plan provides more details and specifics about how the Community Benefits Program will be executed. They also develop a feedback form in English, Spanish, and Chinese for you to provide input on the various aspects of the Community Benefits Program as detailed in the implementation plan and guidelines. The form will begin with a brief description of its purpose and also include contacts for general questions. As you go through the feedback form, each section will focus on a different segment of the implementation plan. Each section will have a link to the draft implementation plan and guidelines, and an image highlighting the section of the report the questions are referring to. The overview section of the draft implementation plan outlines 4 primary elements aimed at addressing the impact on local Delta communities: the Delta Community Fund, economic development, integrated benefits, and community benefits agreements, CBAs. As you scroll down, the feedback form asks you to reflect on any other components that could enhance the community benefits program and describe any ideas or suggestions you believe could be valuable. Each section will be formatted the same way. The next section focuses on funding. The Community Benefits Program has a $200 million budget allocated across 4 main components: the Delta Community Fund, economic development, integrated benefits, and community benefits agreements, CBAs. A portion of this budget is specifically set aside for the Delta Community Fund, includes available grant funding, overall implementation needs, while the remaining funds are distributed to support local economic initiatives, convert project-related infrastructures for community use, and meet community-specific needs through CBAs. The feedback form seeks feedback on this funding approach, asking whether prioritizing the Delta Community Fund is appropriate, how funding for each component should be determined, for example by percentage or specific need, and any additional suggestion on optimizing budget distribution. The next section lays out timing for the program. The Community Benefits Program will start by sharing a draft plan in mid-2025 with a final plan expected by late 2025. The Delta Community Fund will offer grants to support local projects with 3 rounds of funding. 50% of the funds available in the first round and 25% in each of the next 2 rounds. Grants will be given on a first-come, first-served basis once construction begins and until all funds are used. The feedback form asks if there should be more rounds of funding, if there should be deadlines for CBAs, and any other ideas about timing for the program. Now we look at the Delta Community Fund. The Delta Community Fund is a key part of the Community Benefits Program, offering grants for local projects in areas like recreation, historic preservation, environmental education, and community improvement to enhance the unique character of the Delta communities. Eligible applicants include local agency, tribal groups, and nonprofits, with private groups eligible if partnered with one of these. The Department of Water Resources will review the applications and guide applicants through the proposal process, with successful projects monitored to ensure they meet community goals. The feedback form seeks feedback on potential changes to the grant distribution process, ideas for improving publicity, and possible additions for changes to the oversight process. It also asks if current screenings or scoring criteria should be adjusted or expanded to better reflect community priorities, and offers a space for additional comments. The Economic Development section of the Community Benefits Program aims to create local job opportunities and support Delta businesses during the Delta Conveyance project through goals for local hiring, job training, and business participation in construction. The feedback form seeks input on whether any adjustments should be made to the program's components, timing, processes, or oversight, as well as any additional feedback to strengthen local economic benefits. The Integrated Benefits section of the Community Benefits Program seeks to create lasting community assets by converting certain project infrastructure for public use after construction ends. Examples include turning temporary haul roads into bike paths or leaving behind communication infrastructure for community broadband access. The feedback form asks whether there should be other types of integrated benefits that should be included, if any changes should be made to the process for determining these benefits, and for any additional feedback in timing or funding to improve the program's impact. The Community Benefit Agreement section focuses on targeted collaboration with communities to address local needs through commitments finalized before the 100% project design phase when all planning details of the project are completed. These commitments include engagement guidelines, defined roles, cost estimate, and finalized agreements based on community input. The feedback form asks whether the timeline for participation in CBAs should be extended beyond the 100% design phase, what modifications or additions are needed in CBA's development process, and for any additional feedback to improve this section. If you need any help with the feedback form, or if you have general questions about the Community Benefits Program, email Delta Conveyance cbp@water.ca.gov. If you would like to keep up to date with the latest development of the Delta Conveyance project, sign up for the DWR mailing list.